Sanford. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. We're going to start the first round of tests for the new screen paint. This is the more advanced upgrade version of the gold. We used to have this in a Supreme 9, which was also gold. We got it to a 15. And now it's an advanced ambient light projection, black gold Nova 17. So this is a more advanced version of it. All right, so tests we have to do. These tests have to be done. It's very important. All are going to the same tests. Final test for the screen paint is to be taken outside. It's being used with a projector of 1,000 lumens, which we have right here. That sets back around 13 feet. That's how all of our screen paints earn their labels, but they all have to go through the same testing. Ultra short throw, sample sheets, distance throw. They have to go through all these tests in order for us to see exactly if they'll be able to get their labels. Okay, so these tests today will be posted to the website. All our testings for now on will be posted to the website. So anyone who comes into our websites, whether you be from all over the world, you be from Italy, where you're at, you can come in and check out the test, see exactly how the screens perform. All right, and I think that makes it a lot easier instead of having all our videos, 5,000 of them, all combined on the YouTube. We can separate them, categorize them, put them on the website so people can come in and we can redirect them to those links where they can come in and see those tests. All right, so first test we always do is the low lumen test. We're going to be using our Sony VPL C. That's 4 projectors. This is what I also use outside too. I also bought an extra lamp for this projector just in case, because it's been flickering the last couple of days. So I'm going to replace my lamp on here too. So let's fire this up so we can get this started. And if you notice, when you go to the website, bit by bit, you'll see changes from the website, policy changes and stuff like that. We have to add some things in there for COVID and stuff like that. So, yep, it's gonna be busy. Let me see if we have the right remote controls for this too, while we're down here. This might be for the TV, for the screen. I still have to do 4 demonstrations because we have a section for the exotics for their videos. So I have to do some demonstrations of this. I have the upstairs motorized projection screen demonstrations, and the wallpaper has to be done. Let me see if we have the right remote controls first, because we usually get these remote controls between these two mixed up. Hopefully the adapter that I'm using is working. I gave my adapter away to a customer, and now I have to use this little conjunction. Hopefully it's working. It worked the last time, so I didn't have any problems, so it should work this time. Disconnect and put it into another outlet. Hopefully this works. Okay, we're running through. Adapter's running through. Okay. It's gonna be a long day. Let me see what's going on here in my power supply. Let's see. Well, showing the unit running. Maybe you don't need to be in there. That's for a quick charge. All right, if that's not running, then I'm gonna have to figure out. It's probably one of the adapters. I thought I had another one of these. Oh, it is displaying. Well, where is it at? I thought I had another one of these. Yeah, it's displaying. The only problem is something's not displaying with it. If not, I'm gonna have to go downstairs and get the 900 lumen projector. Doesn't make a difference. We still got to run something today. I gotta learn to start checking my inventory before I give stuff away. because now I got to order me another one. God knows how long it's going to take for me to get the other unit back in here to be able to do the demonstrations, because I need the demonstrations for this projector. But we could drop down 1,000 lumens. I just have to bring the mini computer down here and run everything through that, which is going to be, oh, freaking nightmare. So let's see what we got to do to get this thing running before we go down that road. So we may have a little difficulties here. So just bear with me. Let's see what's going on here. Let me see what I got running upstairs, because for some reason we're not picking up anything at all, period. I'm running both my remote controls and nothing's coming up. All right, let's see what we got to do to fix this mess. Stuff I got to do when I get up in the morning. Now let's grab me another projector. We got another one upstairs we can use. Going to try this smaller cord. Maybe this one will work. So let me show you my little nightmare here. We used to have one little adapter that would plug into this side. That's it. That's all we needed. Other one, we have to run it through this contraption, which basically requires a power supply in order to run it. So I have to run that through my unit down here because there's no USB on there. See? There you go. That's how complicated things can get. There we go. See? Boom. So the cord that I was using, I don't know what the heck this crap is. I don't know. Anyway, the cord I was using basically was faulty. There was something wrong with it. So that's why I swapped out the cord, because I did not want to go bring the mini computer downstairs, everything else that comes with it. Well, I didn't want to go through all that, so just wanted to go in. Oh, some people thought when they watch these demonstrations that the screen can't pick it up. Yeah, these are ambient rejection. It's a 17. 17s pick up on just about everything. No, we had a cable mix up where the cables weren't running right. But yeah, these are 17s. 17s will pick up with no problem. The Black Nova is super jet black. It picks up on 1,000 lumens even outside. So this thing's not even as dark as a Black Nova, and this thing will pick up. That cable mix up. That's all. All right, we're at 13 feet back. 13 feet back. Let me show you where our measurements are at. I'm going to just quick and fast get this done with. Measuring tapes here. There is our there at 13 feet. Coming directly the front of the projector. Measuring tape that's back. I've seen people pull the measuring tape all the way to the back of the projector. No, you're not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be where the projector starts off at. If those lumens fire off at and they start their travel, that's where that measuring tape is supposed to start, right there. All right, so now let's see which one of these is going to be the right remote control. Apparently that's not it. But she decided to go late on me. All right, there we go. All right, one time I was sitting there pressing the remote control over and over again. I'm thinking like, okay, wrong remote control. Went all over the house trying to find a remote control. Realized that the remote control I was pressing over and over again was the exact remote control. It was just not, the signal wasn't connecting. It happens from time to time too. All right, so let's go switch down. Let's go over to here. We're going to go over to YouTube, where I like to pull my videos at. We already got set up with the 130 over there on the side to get ready to throw that up in front of the screen. Because it's just going to have to do a low lumen test. It's going to have to do it right through a 130. Now, as I said before, Black Novas are the darkest screens we make. If a Black Nova can pull an image from 1,000 lumens and hit a Black Nova and they can absorb and still watch the image, this is going to be a cakewalk because this screen is actually lighter than the Black Nova. Of course, the Black Nova is black. Anyway, this screen's gold anyway. It's a dark gold. So anyway, let's pull up some stuff. Let's go with this right here. Now we do these tests because these tests allow us to be able to write the specification sheets. We can say, hey, 1,000 lumens will work on the screen. You could be at around 13 feet. All this information that you see on all the specification sheets come from tests. We bring you over here. You can see what our projector is seeing at 13 feet and 1,000 lumens. Sorry, we don't have sound with this projector. Now, if you're using a Sunbeam, I think, which is an ultra short throw projector, they're around like 1,200, 1,500 lumens. That's going to be a cakewalk for this technology because you're literally sitting on top of the screen. This is a distance though at 13 feet. Mind you, this is going to go all the way back to 22 feet, so we're not done yet. This is just a low lumen test. Then we have to do the distance test. Yeah, I can tell already from the door. It's going to pass outside with no problem. Unfortunately for today, what's that laying in the middle of the street? Make sure we ain't got a trash can. I've gotten out of my house and walked up the street, removed the trash can from the middle of the street. This area is pretty interesting. You catch a trash can, you can have a really serious car accident around here. People should know if you got trash up there to remove your trash can so I don't get hurt. All right. Let's go over and let's grab, now I don't know what that contrast, I think this projector has like 1,000, no, not 1,000, my goodness, 100 to 1 contrast. Jordios. Now you're going to see a few pre-recorded demonstrations popping up. Like I said, these are for the website. We still have demonstrations to do on the 235.1. I'm going to be doing quite a lot of demonstrations for 235.1. You know, we're going to have a section in there. I'm pretty sure Silver Ticket doesn't mind me. And I'll email them and ask them for permission to use their video because they have an extremely good educational video on 235.1. Best one I've ever watched when I was learning about 235.1 projectors and screens and so forth. So it's very educational. I'm sure they don't mind, you know. We'll give them a credit because it is their video. Answers a lot of questions for people that are wondering about 235.1. And you can see contrast levels are pulling with no problem whatsoever, which is good. Got those black levels popping. So now you know from 1,000 lumens, the biggest projector we put on here is 43. That's what you can run within that range. It's a lot that you can run within that range. I like doing this because, like I said, when people are doing the distance throw or they're doing these certain tests, I've never seen a distance throw on any of the high-end screens. Kind of think of it, I have never seen one. See, now I got to go do some research. I got to go look around and see how many like Elite Screen, DMP, Supernova, do they display those? I need to go look into that. And then when they do display them, what projectors are they using? I'm pretty sure they're not using this one behind me. 4K demonstrations. It's just no point in doing a distance throw on a projector if you have like 4,300 lumens. You're really not losing any lumens in that distance throw. You want to start off with the lowest amount of lumens, which we feel comfortable with, is 1,000 lumens, and then throw that at a distance. Because right now, at 13 feet in a fully lit environment, we don't have 1,000 lumens by the time we make contact with the screen. We have less than that. It's pretty good. Now, those of you who sent me emails, and we got quite a lot of emails, thank you so much. On Sunday, I don't answer email. I will be contacting you today. These tests are not going to take long, so I'll be contacting you today. Okay. And you can see the difference between the color coding technology allows those colors to pop. All right, there we go. And we're back. I had to cut the Wi-Fi off. And if you're interested in getting one of these giant light bulbs, you can see me in the layer. Anyway, they're around 40, 50 bucks, but I didn't like it too much when I got it because there's way too much light. But it's pretty cool looking at the spiral. Kind of gives you an idea. When they first started developing that vintage light bulbs back in the day, you can see the whole coil effect. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Ugh. Come on, man. Let's not play that game today. We don't play dragging my light bulb off the floor. Oh, wait. It's not turned on. What am I doing here? What am I doing? There we go. Got our light on. All right. Let's see. Let's go with, we'll do this one with the horsey. I like to do the contrast demonstrations, especially when this projector behind these contrast is really, really low. So at 13 feet, now 1,000 lumens. You've got to travel through all this light, and then that projector has to push to 130 and still make contact with the screen. So if you stand back, you should be able to see the image come back at you. That's the whole purpose of the distance throw. Projector has to travel at 1,000 lumens. Of course, when it first takes off, depending on how much light you have in the environment, means how many lumens you're going to lose on its travel from A to B. That's why some people, they start off with a really powerful projector with something like maybe 4,000, 5,000, maybe more than that, because they know they're going to lose lumens along the way. By the time they'll lose about maybe 10,000 lumens if they're back so many feet, depending on how much light they have in the environment. Let's calculate all that on how much light they have per square inch. But anyway, you have to have enough lumens to be able to sacrifice, number one, dealing with whatever lighting you have in the environment, or window light that may play a part in that one. And then the screen is going to require a certain amount of lumens to do a throwback to you so you can see the screen itself. But usually with some companies, they are satisfied with just being able to pick up an image. That's why, if you may go into a storefront or something, you may see a projector set up in there. Picture quality looks like crap, but as long as they can see it, as long as you can make it out, that's considered to be passable. To me, because I'm used to seeing things differently, I can't deal with it. I can't. I really can't deal with it. It's like every time I see a display like that, it's like somebody walking over and punching me in the face. Because I'm used to seeing things a little bit differently because I deal in this field. I can't deal with it. But that's what the whole purpose is. And that's why we start off with 1,000 lumens, because we know that we're going to have very little by the time it reaches its destiny, and then happen to deal with that light in the center. That's going to make it even harder. And this is the way test demonstrations for screen paints, and I feel also too for projection screens should be done. But usually most of the ones I see, when they're displaying their screens, they display the screens against white screens. Very easy screen to beat. That's a very easy screen to beat. And then they're doing the demonstrations in ambient light controlled environments, and they're using high powered projectors to make up for what the screen is lacking. Because God forbid, if their screen would actually drop below a certain level and something were to overshine it. And this is the same guidelines I find for screen paints also. In screen paints, they do the same thing as the big companies do, because they figure, hey, look, we'll follow along with them, because if people approve what they do, then they'll approve what we do. No, that's unexcusable. If they're cutting corners, why are you? That's why we don't do anything like everybody else is doing. That's why our demonstrations are different. Let's have a walk up on the screen so you can see how it's not affecting at all, period. So we're showing you bright colors, we're showing you just about everything you need to see. And that's why we like to do the contrast demonstrations. And usually, you know, when people are trying to mimic our demonstrations, saying, look, we can do the same thing too. We have the bright colors, but the minute I put that contrast level in there, there you go, lights out. Star field demonstration. If it didn't butcher it. Or if it's listening to me. Nope, not listening to me. Anytime I get that little indicator that pops up there, means she's not listening to me. So we can pull the bright levels, no problem. That's the easy part. Let's try her again. Starfield screensaver. Boy, she has her days, boy. Outer space screensavers. See? Now, let's try to see if we can get what we want. Starfield screensaver. There you go. And like I said, it's technology. It gets temperamental. The more intelligent technology gets, the more and more it gets to the point where it's going to start doing what it wants to do. I guess that's going to be a long end commercial right there. So there we are, Starfield demonstration. This pretty much seals the deal when it comes to people trying to do the same demonstration we're doing, because they'll say, okay, well, I can do that. I can take my projector back on a light gray screen paint or a light gray screen. We can pull colors. We can do all that. Then we start doing these contrast demonstrations and go, I can't do that. Because you can't pull contrast. You can't pull it. It's not going to come up. For example, I'll show you. We'll take take a Cinema Gray by Elite Screens. It's a $800 projection screen right here. And we'll put that not in the middle because it's not going to be to withstand the light. But we'll set it right there. See? They can't pull contrast. If I were to switch this over to color, they can't see color either. Mind you, we have screens of different colors that can see different colors when the other screens can't. All right, just give you an idea. Give you an idea. All right. Some people switch toward, that's why we put that color coding technology into our gray screens, because our gray screens can see contrast, which I got to do another demonstration on that one. I got to paint another screen for that for the website. I got to do those demonstrations on that screen for the website, because we're going to also have a gray screen or other screen paints versus our technology on another page. So this is a very dark screen, as you can see, very dark. Like I said, against a white screen, this is going to show an improvement against a white screen. The screen is gold. We're using a dark gold. We'll put that right there. All right. That comes from that reflective material. That's what it is. The reflective material that they use to reflect a lot of light to make the screen brighter. This does not help the screen at all. It actually reflects too much white light, and that's why the image is coming up the way it is. The surface is dark. It's just what's on that surface is just drawing in too much white light. It's actually equally to the gray screen you're seeing right next to it. Now, I know certain individuals want to get mad over this demonstration, but like I said, all in all, you did compare your stuff to ours, so it's only fair that we do this. It's not to be mean. Everybody say, oh, you're just being mean. No, it's just so you're in the field. If you can review our products and do things I don't do fake demonstrations. I just don't do that at all. If you have your product, I'm just going to lay it against the screen. There's no point in me mixing anything or anything like that or tampering with your stuff. I don't do that. But if you're going to do these fake demonstrations and these fake reviews, I'm going to show you how it's done professionally, how you do a real review. We're going to take your product, we're going to put you against this screen right now, and we're going to see how you size up. I think it's only fair. So let's get something, because it's not just you up there by yourself, there's other screens up there. One, I can have you go through all the demonstrations today under this technology, one by one. Now we're going to be using, because some people will get offensive over this, but hey, look, you're going to be in this field. Got to do things the right way and correct way. Some people don't do things the correct way. That's why we do all these demonstrations ahead of time, so when they do things the wrong way, you can go, here you go. Here's Crow's personal mix. Let's see how it reacts when 1,000 lumens next to a gold Nova. Now I could stick you in the center, which I will do first. See how your screen reflects light. But for those you're going to say, well, that's not fair because he's in the center. He'll be moved around. All these screens will be moved around. That's how we do things over here. If you're first time watching this. Doesn't absorb anything. Now these screens right here, sorry about that, have something called the narrow viewing cone. Narrow viewing cone is when you're standing in front of a screen, you can see it crystal clear. As you start to turn, the screen starts to turn dark on you. We call that the narrow viewing cone. But this is what he's picking up. Now, we'll take him, and we'll move him, swap him, mix him around. And we'll move him from here to there. We'll put him over here. On this side. I guess this is something a little extra. I don't usually do these demonstrations. We'll put him to the far end. like so. Here's the screen we put in front of this. It's going to have the same reaction. We'll swap them. And as you can see, no matter where we put him at on that screen, he's not going to pick up that image. I had some people comment. This is where we remove comments, because we have some people come in, and I'm not trying to say any people are they just, some people ask some really some questions that they should not be asking. They're going to say, why don't you move the screen around? Maybe it'll change. Or are you kidding me? Those are people you can't say anything to. You just have to give them that long stare and then walk away. Of course, we can't use this as internet. All right. So we're just going to keep our screen in the middle with the center, making that contact right there in the center, right there. That's it. We're going to keep our screen right there in the center. We're the only ones who are going to take direct light. All the other screens won't take direct light, only ours. Well, they're actually getting the aftermath effect where the light is hitting our screen in the center and dispersing outward, which it should. Put this here. This is still a low lumen test. Still a low lumen demonstration. Except for we're going a little bit different with the gold. Well, we do this with the black if we choose. We've got to do all these demonstrations like so. As the website starts to pick up more, I'm adding more videos to it. We're going to, let me see if we can find the remote control. Where's the remote control? Me moving about the house and me picking up things and putting them down in weird places. Here it is, found it, right in the corner of the theater chairs. All right, so it starts with demonstration. Colored blue, blue screen. Let's see if she's going to work with me today. Oh, she is going to work with me today. Okay, great. Oh, we got to get him a little closer. I forgot. This projector is really old. So this projector only does a 4.3. Ah, stuck that time. Okay, I think yesterday the reason why it wasn't sticking so well because the screen was still wet. And now it's dry. Everything is sticking quite well. Not because the screen was wet yesterday. Everything is sticking very well. All right. So we have the two certifieds here. Two certified screens here. We got a dark one and a light one. That side we have a dark one and a light one. And even with 1,000 lumens, 130 watt, and our screen's taking the majority of the light in the center, we're still producing a much better image of color of only on 1,000 lumens. Still a little bit of a color swap out here if we get past the commercial. I can't see anything at the bottom at all, period. I kind of got second guessed. This is a Sketcher commercial. I automatically know from the door this has got to run to the end. They don't have a skip on this one at all, period. There you go. We do a color swap out back and forth. As I told you, no form of color coding technology. On our website, we're going to be putting a page in for color coding technology. In that page, you'll be able to see the difference between our exotic screens, which are the ones who explain it much better on color coding technology because they're weird colors, compared to other screens. And we're going to be doing that color pattern back and forth to show you where our screens can actually see color where the other screens don't. Even at 1,000 lumens. So some people feel that, oh, if I get a more powerful projector, I'm going to be able to see better color. Well, color is going to come up a little bit better if you get a more better projector, but if your screen can't see it, you really can't see it. Let's see. I want to go with that red, but they never gave me the red one I wanted. Oh, here's red. Thank you. I was just asking, but they never gave me red when I wanted. There you go. They don't have that capability to see color at all, period. You know? That's why a lot of these demonstrations And I'm talking about both screens, talking about this one and these certified screens, both of these screens. This is the reason why you find them in their demonstrations in dark environments, number one, always in very dark environments, because that's the best way they have of a screen pulling an image up. And they're using overpowered projectors. Now, I've seen the demonstration using the same projector behind me. That room was dark. No way in the world was anything like what we're doing right now. Start the demonstration. Let's get the 4K fish. I don't know what in the world all that is. All right. So as you can see, well, got a commercial in there. So I'm going to be able to sit down my remote control and move forward. There we go. So as you can see, like I said, that, you know, even down to a $4,000, $5,000 projection screen, $800 projection screen, or a screen paint mix, you just can't pick up colors correctly or properly. This is why even the companies are telling you, you got to calibrate. All right, so let's bring it back. Let's bring it back 22 feet, because now we got to do the distance throw. So let me see where we got to be at. $22 feet. Got my stuff. All right, guys, start eating in the morning. Let me pull this back here. Maybe better if I yank all this over here. My job a little easier. What do we need? What do we need? What do we need? We need more line. Where do we need more line coming from? There we go. All right. You're at 22 feet. There we are, 22 feet. One thing I love about my living room setup in here, if I bounce this all the way to the kitchen, I got a ton of room in here to play around it with. I do distance throws in here all day. Have a ball. All right. Oop, let me turn my lights on. There we go. We are at 22 feet. 22 feet. Yes, 22 feet. Now, keep in mind, because you see me do this in the demonstration, I'll have people say, well, you know, I got this projector and 22 feet is what we do in the demonstration. We don't advise you doing 22 feet on 1,000 lumens. Because, see, this is what happens. They want the image to look as sharp and as beautiful as a high-powered projector, but they want to use a low lumen projector at 22 feet. Now, this is for the demonstration to test the screen exactly where it stands at and so forth. We don't advise you to do that. That's why we have a requirement that we put on there saying, okay, best suggested to be used at this time, best to be just suggested to be used with this projector. Now, if you're using it for, I say, 100-inch screen, yeah, 1,000 lumens, you're going to have to be around 13 feet back, about 11 or 12 to 13 feet back. That's usually a distance of a 100-inch screen. No problem. You can do that in a fully lit environment. That's not a problem at all. 120-inch, kind of pushing it. Those projectors, this is that portable projector. They're not really designed to be pulled back and be used at 120 inches. Especially not this particular model. All right, let's see, we put everything at. gonna be knocking at my door. Starfield screensaver. Got that song by Police. Who can be knocking at my door? Got that stuck in my head. I forgot where I was actually watching that from. I love when they show those potato chip commercials and people are having those special moments. I have never had a special moment like eating a bag of chips or Coca-Cola or anything, the way they make it look like a special moment. All right, here we go. Starfield demonstration. That projector, I'm pretty sure it has 100:1 contrast. It's pretty low, it's not that. Now here we are at 22 feet pulling a Starfield demonstration. As I said before, contrast is everything. And it is everything. That's why even our light screen, gray screen prints can pull a contrast level. It is everything. It is needed. When you buy a projector, and they talk about where the most projector would be, like when at 22,001, 10,001 contrast. It's always about contrast. Let me know next time you see a projector that says, oh, this has a 22,001 white level. And I'll do that. Now, as you can see, whether it be a gray screen paint, whether it be a gray projection screen, they can't see contrast. This is why these demonstrations, usually, one of the things they fake, and I hate to see these fake contrast demonstrations. My favorite ones is when they use a city, and the city's gonna have a lot of bright lights in it. That's why I like using that New York City dark scenery, because that's a very, 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 very dark demonstration when it shows the city. When people use these bright, colorful, not colorful, but more like a lot of light, and they say, well, this is a contrast demonstration, they turn out the lights, use a dark projector, I'm gonna use a projector, I'm gonna use the projector I have, and they do that demonstration. They are cutting corners like there is no tomorrow. Number one, your environment is there's too much light going on in your environment. Way too much going on in your environment. For me, and keep in mind, we have a light here, and we got a light in there. This is all well lit at 22 feet, making contact to the screen with a 130 watt lamp in the center of it. And that screen is still producing that Starfield demonstration, where the rest of these are picking up nothing at all. This is how you're supposed to do a distance throw demonstration. Now, some people are saying, oh, that's a little too extreme. Well, maybe it's extreme for you because you don't do it. It's not extreme for us because we're used to doing it. It's an everyday thing for us. Some of these demonstrations, I got to start thinking of new stuff. Because even when we do this, it gets a bit boring. It does. I'm not trying to brag here, but it gets a bit boring. Every time you flip on a projector, it's the same thing. So I got to throw different stuff in there now to entertain myself while I'm doing the demonstration live. Think about that one. While I'm doing it live, I got to think about weird, crazy stuff to throw in front of a projector in order to basically have a little fun. I'm not worrying about the screen failing. I know the technology can handle it. Where other people are doing demonstrations or doing dim environments or selecting certain videos in order so their screen doesn't fall below that certain average. Red screen. And she doesn't pull up. Remember, you can't hear voice. If she doesn't pull up, she's arguing. Blue screen. See? Told you. Even at 22 feet, at 1,000 lumens only. Mind you, we don't even have 1,000 lumens by the time we're making contact with screens. That screen is barely picking up the image. It's fighting. But look how much better the blue looks compared to a lighter screen. And that's one of the things that I find interesting too. People will tell you that lighter screens will pick up better and more brighter colors, no, those colors will fade like crazy on that screen, even at 1,000 lumens. I'm getting a brighter image, getting a washed out image. Where's my red? There we are, my pretty red. See? Ta-da! Case closed. There you go. Can't even pick a red. I never showed you this before. See, we have to do something new. I have to do something new every time to basically, because like I said, it's not saying I'm bored of my work, but think about it. For every screen paint I design, I have to do these tests over and over and over and over and over again. Go to my website, see how many screen paints you see on there. For every screen paint, I have to do one of these tests. And these are long tests. So after a while, I get bored. And I go, you know what? Let's just throw stuff in here. So I'm doing this live. And any given time, I'm throwing things in there. And it could go, and screen could outperform the screen. That means I don't have to depend on a high power projector to make the screen look good, because that's what most companies do. We'll use a high-end projector because they know that anything they throw in there, they're going to be able to handle that because the projector will be doing all the work. Well, at 1,000 lumens at 22 feet back, well, guess what? That thing's not doing all the work, the screen is. And that's why we can take up a, this is the most professional we have here. We got another one here. I'm not going to do this. Oh, no, they're not going to do this demonstration at all. Gotta find stuff to do. All right, we'd pass her 22 feet back. We've been through sample sheets up against the screen to pass at 22. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's fun. Let me see. Let me bring my projector back up. Figure out stuff to do. Nope, it's not going to work. It's going to be too easy. Gotta figure out stuff. So we're at what, 13 feet? 13 feet. We're at 13 feet. 13 feet. We're still 1,000 lumens. No screen. Using that's how I know it's, I mean, keep in mind, even though outside it's going to have 10 times more ambient light than what we used in here, the screen's going to pass with no problem. I can tell that from the door. I've done this enough time to even know exactly what's going to happen. It's going to pass with no problem. There you go. That's the white wall right there versus our screen. How deep that red looks, that's how red is supposed to look. That's how deep and beautiful it's supposed to look. It's not supposed to be washed out. It's not supposed to be faded. Me throwing random sample sheets against the screen. I told you to get bored. I find stuff to do to entertain myself sometimes. I'm a little bored. randomly throwing stuff against the screen. We're not even picking out which ones are going to benefit our screen if we do it. We're not selecting which ones that are going to be, what you say how people do it? They select out which ones they feel that are going to give their screen the less fight. We want the fight. We want the fight. We want the struggle. That's what we want. I get a little excited when I do this kind of stuff. I really do, because it's fun for me. It really is fun to see exactly how much we can push our screen through. How many sample sheets can we throw against it with 1,000 lumens? Look at this. Boom! The screen's gonna have to fight. So holding your hand, we don't hold your hand in here. No. No, 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 no. We don't hold your hand in here. This is why if you go look at the internet, go search around, do your research. You won't find anybody doing our demonstrations. Oh, there's my remote control way back there. It says, I am the drama. I was watching some show, and the little girl, they had to do the face, it's something weird I was watching. It was pretty funny. You had to see it to understand what I was talking about. Let's do those white levels first. White screen. So there's our white levels right there. There's our white levels right there. That automatically tells me from the door what we're going to be dealing with, even at 1,000 lumens. I've never done this one at 1,000 lumens. See, this is going to be fun. So some people think because the screens are producing the highest white levels, the screens are going to produce the highest color. It's actually the other way around. But certain forum sites told you this is, yeah, they told you protocol. That's what they told you. Because if that was the case, then that means the darker screen wouldn't be to produce the more brighter, more richer colors. These screens would produce it. How is that possible? Told you. They feed you what they want to feed you. So it's a protocol thing. See how the Dark Star 9 is coming up with a better color than the rest of these right here? Yeah, they feed you all kinds of false information, and people believe that nonsense. I sit here, when I watch them demonstrations, I'll be laughing my head off like, nope, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true. Because I'm over here doing the very opposite of what they're doing. When I watch their demonstrations, I'm over here cracking up because I see how they custom design the lights in their environment to give off the illusion that the screens are taking in all this light, and they're not taking in any light. There's no light physically hitting the screen. The only ones I've seen on a lead screen, they had these overhead lights here, and those lights were coming down. They were dim because that whole entire area, those lights were coming down, would have been completely illuminated underneath the bottom, underneath the sides, and it wasn't. It was just light here, but all this was dark. Then you got screens blocking every single window. You got lights tucked behind the back of the screens to push out light here, but to give it the illusion that the room is well lit. Of course, a lot of people didn't realize when they watched that demonstration that the camera guy that was walking in the hallway, his camera automatically started to darken the minute he walked in the room, which showed there was more light in the hallway than there was physically in the room. I see all that. All that information is feeding through my head when I'm watching those demonstrations. And it just shows me from the door, all right, I'm seeing ambient light controlled environment, aka your screen won't survive in our environment because we have way too much light in here. I'm pretty sure all the projectors were calibrated. Guarantee they were all calibrated. Which means your screens can't see proper color. So that's all the information I'm feeding off your videos when I'm watching your demonstrations. So instead of me going here, which most of these guys will do, which they should do, because if they're dealing with majority of white screens, they're not dealing with me. If everything in the world ran off my technology, then they would have to test their stuff against my technology. Think about that one. That's a mind blower right there. So if my technology was the only thing on the earth, they would have to test their stuff against my stuff. How far do you think they would go? Not far. Now, but since majority of most screens on the earth are white screens, that's why they test their technology against white screens to show the difference between how they can give you an improvement over a white screen. But say if white screens became obsolete and there's no more white screens, then what? What will you test against then? Meanwhile, we test all our technology against your best. The best technology you have to offer, we go hunt it down and we do our demonstrations against your stuff. There's no point in me doing a demonstration against a white screen. If I can beat your screen, I definitely can beat a white screen. At 1,000 lumens, 720p, SVGA, $75 projector. It's not even calibrated, and in a fully lit environment at 13 feet back, I'm showing better color in your screens. And I don't have a 4K. I don't have a 1080p projector when I'm doing this. Even did a 130 watt light in the middle of the screen. Even did it at 22 feet back with a 130 in the middle of the screen and still pulled a better image. And here we are. Crow screen paint here. Crow screen paint here. Certify screen, certify screen, certify screen, certify screen. Dark Star 9, Great Cinema 5D, Cinema Gray, and the, I'm going to butcher the name, we all know it, the Parallax 0.8. Gives you something to think about, doesn't it? That's why when you say in the video, calibrate what? What am I calibrating? No, we're not calibrating anything. That's just an excuse. And they do show up better on green. I give them that much. Green, they do play well by a certain degree, but still, not there. Oh, let me show you something real quick. Those of you that are using white screens, and like I said, I don't even know why they sell white screens, because white screens have been around since the silent era of movies. Way before silver came out, there was white screens. But then again, movies at that particular time were in black and white, so you didn't really have color movies. So, you know, the contrast had to be horrible. But then again, you know, you wouldn't be thinking about that. The fact that you actually have a moving picture on a screen has to be amazing. You know what I mean? That's a major breakthrough. If it wasn't for that particular inventor, we wouldn't have what we have now. That's why I like to go back. I appreciate black and white movies. I appreciate the older stuff. I go back and like watch the history of home theater setups. Not home theater, but more like the picture boxes when movies first started, because you have to be able to appreciate and understand the beginning of it all before you can appreciate the new technology of today. And if it wasn't for those pioneers back then guess what? You wouldn't have this now. Now that's what a white screen picks up. Nothing at all. Nothing. Now, like I said, any one of these screens, as you can see, right, are going to do much better than the white screen. As you can see, they're going to pick up better color than the white screen. They are. But next to our technology, no. Yeah, we're a little different. See? They're going to pick up a slight of a shade better than the white screen. But next to our technology, they're not going to pick up anything at all. And like I said, that's an interesting theory when you think about it. If our technology did blanket the world, and we were the only screens compared to everybody else, these would become the white screens next to our technology. See, white screens didn't exist. And the only thing that existed was our technology. These would become the white screens. They would have to compare their stuff to us. I didn't think that one liked that little comment. And he was like, no, we're not having that conversation today. Yes, we are. We're going to have that conversation today. And then some of these companies, they get comfortable. They get comfortable with their technology because they figure that, yeah, they got people that are buying it. They got to. They wouldn't be in business if nobody was buying it. So they got people buying it. But like I said, after once in a while, you get comfortable with it, and then I really don't see any difference in it at all. I see a difference next to a white screen, yes. But other than that, the fact that they're going to tell you that if you go out and you spend $5 grand for a projection screen, then you go out and you spend about $3,000 for a projector, and you still got to calibrate and still use it in a dark or basically an ambient light controlled environment. Are you kidding me? Oh, heck no. After spending that kind of money? screen better transform and move my lawn. Sorry, but it should. All right, let's pop out of here. We'll go to different ones here. We did the white levels, we did red, we did blue. Did we do blue yet on all of these ones? Here it is, the blue. All right, let's get that Starfield screensaver. I told you that all of them, the Dark Star 9, is going to pick up the best contrast out of all of these. No problem. And as for, I'm not going to add that in there, there's a certain individual who claimed that he basically did a side-by-side demonstration was equal to a Dark Star 9. No, you're not. You're not. Dark Star 9, as you can see, is pulling a much better contrast. That's Crow right there. And that right there is the Dark Star 9. You're nowhere in the world. That's why I stayed away from the contrast levels, because he couldn't pull it up. We're going to do a demonstration on that. We're going to do a demonstration on the screen paints versus the high performance screens, but that's for a different one. All right, this screen's already passed. Let's be on that. I had to add something new into it because I get so tired of doing, we're going to go 22 feet back and do that demonstration. We'll come back and do it at 15. We'll come back and do it at 14. We're going to do this so and so and so. So you know what? We'll do something different. Let's throw the certified screens in with the 1,000 lumen projector, and we'll do that demonstration that way. It'll be a little bit more funner, which actually was more exciting. It's usually garbage so we get this over and done with. All right, so we're done. It's kind of like we knocked out the certified screen at the same time. Yeah, actually, kind of. We did knock out half the certified screens at the same time. We really did this. I got to add that down to the caption. Certified screens versus screen paints, because we usually do this separate, and we do this on the 38s or the 43s. But we did this on the 1000s. But we'll go back and we'll do it on the 43, because then you're going to have some people complaining about saying, well, it's not fair. And then these companies will be upset to my, well, it's not fair because it's a 1,000 projector and our screens have to be used with a certain particular projector. We got a Christie over here, so I'm pretty sure, you know what I mean, 4,300 lumens. If your screen does the same thing, boy, it's not going to look good. We went from 1,000 to a 43, which we got to do right now. So we're going to jump from a 43, we're going to do a screen certified, and then we're going to do ultra short though at the end, and we're done on that one. We'll bring the game system down though. You know what? What am I taking this down for? It's got to stay up there. We got to swap out for a 43. So now we're just going to do a certified screen demonstration. We just did that already. I got to add it to the bottom of this caption. We're going to do 43. We already did 1,000. And some people sit there and say, well, it's not fair. It's a 1,000 lumen projector. It requires more power. Well, that's a problem right there if you're going to have that argument with yourself, because you need more power in order to get your colors to come up right. Are you kidding me? That's not good. It's not even a good argument to even start with. Let's go from there. And let's bump it up to 43. Forgot lumens. Yeah. All right, let's take this down because I'm going to be forever working with that. Stuff out of the way here. All right, how about, all right, because I told you, I've done these so many times, it bores me a bit. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go from a 720p 38, and then we're going to switch over to a 43. So we're going to go from a 720p to a 1080p and see if there's any change. And we're going to do this on these certified screens, okay? So I'm going to be swapping this out, having some fun here with that, because this is going to be just too boring to do. I've done all these over and over again. We're going to do something a little bit more different. So we're going to use the ViewSonic projector. Turning off my my power unit. All right, let's get this place a little better cleaned up in here, because there's not what a mess in here to deal with. Come on. get over here and sit down and be nice. Stop playing with me. Really? This is what you're over traveling on? And we're having a wire fight right now. Disconnect you from here. So we'll get away from that. Still, my wires are kind of tangled up and they just don't want to separate from each other. Like, no, we've had so much fun together. Let's not separate. All right, so we're going to go with the 720p, 600 by 800 res. This is 3800 lumens. Why isn't my projector a little off on this one? Wow, it's going to stand here. We're going to swap over. We're going to go to this 43. See if we can get a difference. But we're going to use a 720p now. First, 600 by 800 res or 800 by 600, 720p SVGA. Let's see if we get a difference. All right, because I know always get the complaints. I'm not saying complaints, but some people feel that it's not fair that I use a 1000 lumen projector. But here's the deal. If my screen was able to pull up on 1000 lumens, how come theirs can't pull up on 1000 lumens? There you go. My screen didn't have a problem, why should theirs? So you can't complain about that one. All right, so this projector right here, oh boy, they just don't want to stay up there. They just don't want to stay. Nope, they don't want to stay. Try it again. Screen's practically dry. You don't want to be up there. Come on now, stay. Isn't that interesting? Come on, stay up there. All right, let me find out. Let me just test. Everything's in, nice and tight, all the way up. Okay, shouldn't have any problems. All right, the projector we're using right now has a 22,000 to 1 contrast. All right. $22,000 to 1 contrast. The color red. 22,000 to 1, 3,800 lumens. Now we went from 1,000 lumen projector, 720p. Let's see, 720p Sony VPL CS4 portable projector at 1,000 lumens. Now we're at 3,800 lumens. You do know the higher we go up on the lumen count, if these screens are projecting too high of a white light, it's going to wash out the screen even faster. White screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
See? So the higher the level goes up, the higher the white levels go up, which means the faster the screen washes out. It doesn't produce a brighter image, it actually washes the screen out even faster. Blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
See? It doesn't make a difference how high we go up on the projector. The higher we go up, the faster the screen's going to wash out even faster. The screens are going to maintain much better, as again, Darkstar 9. But still, on our level of technology, now next to white screen, Darkstar 9 is going to produce better. That's why I said with the demonstration I saw was completely fake. Because as you can see, the blue levels on the Darkstar 9, next to Crow's product here and here, they're not pulling up the exact same. Which means there's no way in the world a $3,000 screen as dark as that was ever going to be able to, or this screen is ever going to be able to match that screen. Virtually impossible. Well, usually what they like to do is they like to use the OLED Jazz display because it camouflages a lot of the colors, and they'll do that in the dark, and that basically gets rid of the tan levels that pop up because the screen can't see contrast. But then again, our screen's not standing behind it, so you won't see that at all, period. That's pretty much it. Smoke and mirrors, people. But as you can see on the test demonstrations of our technology, not only is our technology holding its own, but it was able to produce the, well, actually our technology, the black gold Nova 17 was able to show an outstanding result on a 1,000 lumen projector at 22 feet, at 13 feet with a 130 watt lamp in the middle of that screen, and be able to change its color patterns without basically changing or fading or washing out as the other screens did. And now we're at 3,800 lumens and still same results when our screen paint holds its own weight.
Holy avocado.
I have a screen that's darker than yours, producing a blue that bright. We do red. We already did the white levels already. We did blue, purple, even dark blue. White screen's not picking up anything at all, period. White screen picks up a higher white level. That's pretty much basic about it. Not picking up any contrast. The contrast levels are not picking up at all, period. As you can see. It's already from the door. This technology is already showing advanced improvements. Already from the door. So, the outside demonstrations. If we get, right now it's raining right now. I was hoping we would get up and be able to do a demonstration outside today. Now, none of these screens, actually one of them, two of them, will be going outside with this technology. We'll be doing a color pattern test outside.
Go. Go right. Farther. Faster. Go wild. Leave no mile unturned.
Sony 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Let's start off with this one. Whether we displayed in the color pattern, it's going to reflect the same way in anything we watch. Or even the lighter screens that we're going against right now, certified screens, are going to produce a higher white level. But the problem is that their contrast levels and colors are going to actually wash away. And you see the difference between the Dark Star 9? As I said, there's no way in the world you beat that screen. This is why I do this particular demonstration, because when I show you the solid colors first, and then I go in and show you how it's going to react, this is what you're going to see from your projector. So imagine, if you will, if you had any one of these screens at 106 inches, which I'm using right now. Vizio 4K demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
I got the Vizio right part. What else did they butcher? I wish they got that right, the Vizio. Got that part right. They messed up on the 4K. Oh, we knew that was coming. Messed up on the 4K. Vizio. And we'll switch over. Now mind you, 22,000 to 1. Contrast on this projector. When we switch over to the other projector, it has a 2,000, I think 2,000 to 1 contrast. So you see the black levels there. You see no improvement in the other screens. Now we're going to jump up to a 4300 lumen Chrissy projector. Let's see what happens. What did you come off for? You need to stay right there. One thing I like about that ViewSonic, man, that thing shuts off fast. That's it, it's already off. It shuts off real fast. My big boy on the floor doesn't even shut off that fast. You know why? Well, they gave all the perks. They give the best perks to the 600 by 800 res projector. That thing shuts off faster than my Chrissy, has a higher contrast. It doesn't really make a difference. That screen's produce black levels anyway, so contrast really doesn't make a difference. All right, now we're at 4300 lumens, 1920 by 1200 Chrissy projector. Let's see if we see a difference. This is a venue. By the way. Clean my projector. And if you're wondering what model this is the full 1080p model right there. Something's coming off the screen already before we get started. Like, nope, 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 no. Come on, almost done. Alright, so I got the ultra short throw to do. Let me see, where is the remote controls at? Oh great, we mixed them up, that's never good. Oh, we got the right one. Makes no difference. The second swap projectors all day. Now let me know when you've seen a demonstration against a screen paint. We swapped out our projectors from a 1000 lumen projector all the way up to 38 720p to a 1080p 4300 lumen Christie projector. White screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
There's the white screen right there. And let's begin. Told you. And again, as I said, look at the Dark Star 9's blue level next to Crow's screen paint here and here. Doesn't make a difference. You can't see color. The screens can't see color. If I swap out from 1000 lumens, we went all the way up to the 38. If it's 720p, doesn't make a difference if it's 4K, 720p, whether it be 1000 lumens, whether it be 38, whether it be 43, doesn't make a difference. You can't see color. That's it. That's why you got to calibrate. And the white screens are even worse. You have to calibrate. You are not seeing color. I don't care if your projector has a 2,000,000:1 contrast level, whether you got a P1, P2, P10, whatever you may have, you can't see color. You don't have color coding technology. We're the only ones who have that capability. That's why my blue screen, if I take these same screens and I stick them over that blue screen will change colors. Those screens will remain the same. This is the difference between our technology and everybody else's. And this is the screen's test. This is a test for this technology for us to get its label. And we did something completely different. I never do a certified screens where we start off with 1000 lumens and then bring it all the way up to 43. Even at 1000 lumens, it did it at 22 feet with a 130 in the middle of the screen and was still able to maintain its color in that environment, surpassing certified screens and screen paints. Untested paints. Because that's pretty, I'm sorry, but that's what they are. They're untested. When that white level is that high, that's not a good thing. That's a very bad sign that your screen is going to wash out. You know how high a white level is on a white screen? Think about it. What happens if you take a white screen and you try to display colors off of it in contrast in a well-lit environment? What happens to it? It washes out, doesn't it? There you go. Same thing with light gray screens. They do the same thing. But the difference between, people are going to say, well, you have a light gray screen paint too. We've done this test already. We've done these before. Color coding technology. There you go. And that projector right there has around, I think, 3,000 to 1 contrast. The one we just came off had a 22,000 to 1 contrast. really don't make a difference. So that whole contrast thing on the projector, whatever, so and so and so, yeah, phony baloney. I just went from a projector that had 100:1 contrast, still produce a black star field. Went from a projector that had a 22,000:1 contrast ratio, black level. Went to a projector now that has a 3,000 contrast ratio, black level. And if you had a 2,000,000:1, you're not going to see that. Because if that was true, the person who actually owns that particular projector wouldn't mind doing a star field demonstration in a fully lit environment and displaying a black level just like this. Of course, all you would have to do is take a black sheet of paper, stick it in the middle of your screen, and then basically be able to project on the Cinemax a black star field demonstration that will equal or come extremely close to the black sheet of paper. If that was the case, that 2,000,000:1 contrast level would change anything on your screen. But that'll never get done. We all know that. And we've already did this with the Black Nova. We actually took his screen paint, white sheets of paper, and that certified white screen and did that demonstration on snow displays. So that whole contrast thing, oh yeah. That's why when I buy projectors, I couldn't care less if it was 720p or 1080p or 4K. I really couldn't care less about the lumens to a certain degree because, like I said, it's going to show up either way. And I couldn't care less about, oh, but this has a 22,000:1 contrast. Yeah, whatever, who cares?
Did you know you can go to libertymutual.com to customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need?
Really? I just... Okay, come on, bye.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
See? Gonna make a difference. Tell you whatever you want to hear to make you buy their product, but they don't do the tests. That tells you something right there. They don't do the test. See the black levels on that? This is not pulling a black level at all. Where they'll try to fool you and say, oh, but you're picking up a much brighter image. No, you're picking up a faded image. You can't see contrast. Anytime when one of the biggest lies will tell you, when you're looking at color on the screen, they'll say you're picking up a much brighter, more vivid image. No, you're picking up a faded image. That's what you're picking up. See, watch. Simple color, basic color of red. Red screen.
Audible lets you experience
She's gonna fight
things
me.
in a whole new way.
Blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Either way doesn't make a difference. We just need a color. You see the blue on the Dark Star 9? See the color of that? See it right next to Crow's screen? See that? When you see the demonstration, and we're going to take our screen out of the equation. We're going to do it soon later. Take our screen out of the equation. Just put a white screen up there and show you what happens but you're actually, they'll tell you you're seeing a brighter image. Even with this right here, you're supposed to see a brighter image. You're not seeing a brighter image. Your image is washing out. Now, this one is picking up a much better tone because this is a much darker screen. This is a Gray Cinema 5D. This is picking up a much better one because this screen is much darker. This is the Parallax, if I'm pronouncing that right. And that right there is a white screen. It's a white screen to see when the color blue comes up. But they'll tell you that, oh, you're seeing a brighter image, a much brighter blue. No, you're not. You're seeing a faded, washed out blue. That's what you're seeing. That's actually what you're seeing. Is a washed out, faded image. Not a brighter image, a faded image. Now, we're going to do pretty soon our demonstrations for our ultralight gray screens. We'll be doing that demonstration against other gray screens, which I like to do those demonstrations quite a lot. And we'll show you, even when it comes to our ultralight gray screen paint, what you are supposed to be seeing. We're not doing this ad. No way in the world. Skip me do all day.
So go for it.
That's not going to stay up there long. But anyway, just to show you that next to our technology here, under the new black gold Nova 17, as you can see, it was able to outperform. And we did something different today. Usually, I don't do this. I do the certified last. But it was able to do the certified demonstration and swap projectors out at the same time. Let me know if you've seen that one yet, which I don't know if you will. All right, so let's have some fun here. Let's go over here. Certified screens only. This is not needed because it's not certified. Let's get these out of the way. We're only testing against certified screens. Let's get this started with, matter of fact, let me see if I can expand my screen all the way out. We need to be able to knock out quite a few certified screens in order for it to get its name. It's already did over and beyond what we usually don't do when we do the certified screen demonstrations. This technology was able to outperform some screen paints and some high performance screens on a projector swap out. Is that impressive or what? God is amazing. Let's see. So we have over here, we have a D5K. We have a, let me see. And I know I brought enough sticky tape down here. Where's all my sticky tape at? Because I know I brought it down here. Quite a bit to go on here. I've got a whole rap sheet of stuff down here. Make sure we got everything down here. I'm always looking for this stuff. I can never find it. All right. Let's see. What do we got going on here? We got white screen right here. Put that right there. We got a cinema gray. Put that right there. We got the parallax. Let's put your name on the screen. Sorry, daylight, no disrespect. We'll put you right there. We got another one of those too. Got another one of those. Where's the other one of those at? Okay. Let me see. We got a Seymour AV 1.3. Seymour AV 1.3 right there. You're going to go right here at the bottom. Over there, I think so.
So you just finished installing your new bathroom tile. And now, I'll show you this bowling ball.
Yeah, that's interesting. Out of nowhere, that just pops up. All right, let me see what else we got here. We got a matinee silver. Matinee silver. Okay. Okay, this is Seymour AV. This is the matinee silver right there. Matinee silver. I'm gonna put that one right here. Let me see. This is for ultra short throw. A certain one of these we can't use for these for ultra short throw. We'll do that demonstration next. We have another one. It's a high silver screen. There we go. You got the Dark Star 9 up there? Dark Star 9 is up there, okay. What else do we have here? What's this? This is, what are these? That's a DMP Supernova. That's the CM80 1.3. Why do we have two of those? It's all right there. That's what's right there. Okay. Over here, we have a Vivistorm. This is Vivistorm's projection screen sample sheet. You can buy these on Amazon if you're curious to know where you get them from. You can get them on Amazon for 20 bucks. $20. Get them on Amazon for 20 bucks. Put that right there. That's Vivistorm. I was curious about the Vivistorm because some of the demonstrations I've seen on this. Oh, come on. Stay up there. We got good sticky tape too. The good kind. No need for that. No need to be shy. Stay up there. There we go. Everybody's up. All new tape. Alright. We got a DMP Supernova blade right there. There. It's our blade. What else do we have here that we got? That's a leak screen, so we can't do that one. Do you have any room for a light screen? My screen. That is the Lux screen right here. We call it the Lux. Correct for it is LUXINI. Let me see what else we got here. Anything else? Anything more? We only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12. This is ultra short though, so we can't use that. And we can't use that. Let me see if I got anything else that I might have missed. I knew we had more sample sheets. On top of the seal, on top of the whatchamacallit. Yes, this is what I wanted, this one over here. Remote controls. Let me see. Ultra short throw. We're going to use this as an ultra short throw. We can't use that yet. That's an ultra short throw sample sheet right there. We got our matinee black right there. That's the matinee black by Seymour. They're dark screens. Or they're darker screens. Oh, come on, behave. What is the problem with you now? Like, they don't want to be up there. I put the good sticky tape up there, and they just don't want to be up there. Like, nah, we don't. I don't want to be up here. I just don't want to be up here. Just don't want to be up here. Come on, stay. It's not going to be a long demonstration. It'll be short and sweet before you know it. They're going to start falling off because usually I go through this quite a lot and the screen's dry. It's kind of like this paint, I mean not the paint, but it's kind of like these screens have a mind of their own. And they just don't want to be up there on the screen against the screen. So they got a mind of their own. This one has fresh sticky tape on, so I don't know how that's falling off. Tape's on it pretty secure. And you'll see at the end I got to pretty much pull these off, and I don't get that part right there, but they got a mind of their own. They don't want to be up there. All right. Yeah, I hear you clicking in the back. We have a cinema grade 3D, and we have a DMP Supernova blade. One's a blade, one's an infinity. Let me see. We need more tape. Bought tape downstairs. I know I bought tape downstairs. Can't find tape. Should have been downstairs. Had a whole big roll of it downstairs. But I bought it down here for this test. Knowing that we were going to need it. Nowhere to be found. Care for this stuff. Here it is. I found it under the sofa. It's supposed to be there. Just in case for this one piece right here, it feels it needs to fall down. It doesn't want to be there. I'll take you down. Put a nice big heavy piece on you. There should be no excuses for you to start falling down at all, period. This piece here, which is supposed to be like so. We'll put you like that way. I don't know if I can see. Doesn't want to play right with me at all. Well, it has to be done. Tests have to be done. The craziness I gotta go through to get things done right. Make sure that lays nice and flat. I'm tired, people. Haven't even had breakfast in the morning. No toast, no eggs, no nothing. The one thing about these tests, they all had to be done on the same day. So I try to get them all done within the same recording. And this is what makes a test impossible to follow, because no one's going to do that, because, you know what I mean, everything they do has to be pre-rehearsed. I'm not pre-rehearsing everything, I'm doing it as I go. I can imagine doing demonstrations that have to be pre-rehearsed, because I'm afraid something may disrupt my screen. Cinema grade 3D. DMP Supernova blade. Finally, we're done. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 certifies. White screen. YouTube, white screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Yeah, it took me completely out of the menu. All right, there's the white screen right there. That shows me exactly what I need to see. The screens are producing too high of a white level. Let's go over to our blues. And there you go. I got my stand there. There we go. Get that out of the way. And just a little message to Mr. Crow or Jamie or Fernando. You can forget your reviews. No one cares, and I'll tell you why. Number one, my screen does demonstrations on a level that your screens can't even begin to even think of. Our test demonstrations, as you can see, are very brutal. So I know for a fact for you to do a review is on your opinion on what you think our screen should be. When you don't even do our demonstrations on the levels that we do, or test our screens even on our levels that we do. So that's why I say your reviews are worthless. We've been getting orders in left and right for the Nova. Like I said, all that dumb stuff you do, it doesn't affect us at all whatsoever. It's equivalent of watching a destroyer bump into a rowboat. It's no damage at all. So as you can see, the demonstrations that we do here, everything we do is live, which means there's no pre-rehearsed, there's no special lighting. We have to dim the lighting and change the environment to make the screen look good. I can just come in here and just throw random screens, swap out projectors and everything under the sun in the middle of these demonstrations, and the screen will still do what it needs to do. I'm not afraid of failure because I know the hard work and what my God has blessed me to be able to do when it comes to designing our technology. So we know your demonstrations are fake because, like I said, you don't do any of our test demonstrations, and even if you tried, your screens wouldn't do too well, as I displayed in the demonstration already. So your reviews are pointless. That's what they are. Pointless. Can't do any of our test demonstrations. If I were to run you through the grinder of one of our screens right now, new development for one of our technologies, side by side, you wouldn't be able to keep up to it at all. So I don't know how you review something and people want to take your expert opinion when you don't even do proper testing on your screen paint. And this is the reason why you block or deny our orders for your product to come over here for our reviews, because you know your product won't be able to withstand the test. Interesting. I told you people how. And keep in mind, he has to do a fake review. If that was a black Nova that he really had, it would have been able to withstand his screen with no problem, as I'm doing with your two screen paints over here with no problem. So that's how we know your demonstration was fake. But as I said before, don't try to even do reviews on anybody's products if you don't let them do reviews on yours. Like I said, you can go to our website, you can purchase a product. We're not going to block your orders and like that. We don't do stuff like that. We don't put our customers through screening and none of that. We don't do any of that. You do that. So when you do a real review, a real one, then we'll give you that credit for it. But for right now, that fake mixing stuff with black paint and everything, yeah, this is how we know your stuff, your demonstrations and reviews are fake. Because like I said, if our screens can, Black Novas had to go through this craziness. If our screens can go this rigorous testing with no problem, with a smile on your face, on the face, and your screen couldn't pass 1,000 lumens at 22 feet, then we know from the door, bottom line is your reviews are worth nothing. Put your product through some real testing. Let's move on. The reason why you're not up here because we're testing certified screens. But we all know the deal would happen. Now, we can do this easily, surpass these screens easily, with no problem. I don't know where in the world he gets it in his head that his screen paint is going to be able to take on this screen.
Being different requires great confidence, and with awards like the IIHS Top Safety Pick earned by the 2020 Soul, you can afford to be very, very.
Got the screen coming down already. And this is fresh sticky tape, mind you people. Fresh. I wouldn't even buy from somebody who doesn't properly test their product. That's like buying brakes from somebody who don't even test their brakes. You really would attach that to your car. So you have a company here who doesn't show you any of their tests. Hey, it'll work. Don't worry about it. It'll work. Just put it on your car. I guarantee you. You have our guarantee. And then you have a company that basically shows you their test demonstrations on how the product acts, how it reacts to performance rate on the brakes. Which ones you're going to strap to your car and have your family in. That's why tests are very important. Even though the screens don't want to stay up there, the tests are very important. And have to be done. And I've watched these tests with these big companies, some of them they allow you to see. And then with these screen paint products, you're going to tell me because you're testing your mixes with your own mixes. That's a test? Are you kidding me? Dark environments, constantly all the time. When once, we haven't even turned up our lights once in this demonstration. Not once. Distance throw in the dark. Picking out comfortable demonstrations because you're afraid that your screen's not going to do well. Picking out certain select screens to say my product is just as equal or the same, and picking out certain select videos. There's no way in the world you beat that Dark Star 9. I can tell that from the door. And the same thing with these big companies, not just him too. These big companies that do the same thing, same dark environments, poorly ambient rejection environments, high-end, high-powered, expensive projectors, calibrated projectors, all that nonsense in order to do these demonstrations. One of the demonstrations I saw, and I don't care if Screen Innovation gets a fit about this, but that demonstration with that $50,000 Sony ultra short throw projector. So let me get this straight. 10,000 lumen ultra short throw 4K Sony projector is the size of a coffee table sitting inches away from your screen. And then one of the things I noticed in the demonstration that none of the lights made any contact with the screen whatsoever. Of course, what they did was they put it in an environment with a lot of white walls, a lot of condensed lighting. That's going to make the environment look nice and bright because you have white light reflecting off white walls. Also, when I noticed looking out the window, that it had to be around 12 or somewhere in the noon because the sun was setting on the other side of the street, which means if you had did that early in the morning, all that light would have pushed through that environment and that screen might not have done that well. Yeah, I saw that all back from the door. And then look at the projector you're using. In the comments section, people were discussing the projector more than they were projecting the screen. 10,000 lumens. Think about that. 10,000 lumens and you're sitting that far away from the screen. Are you kidding me? I could have dropped that thing on the top of the sun and would have been able to produce an image off that thing. Hope you got that insured. Your house catch on fire. I bet you that'll be the first thing to come to mind as you're running out the door. Whew. Come on. They better never, ever give me a challenge against my technology. Never better do that. It'd be 2015 all over again. And our stuff is far more advanced than that now. Oh gee, snowboarding demonstration. Now seriously, why would you fall off? Isn't that an area where you would shine the best because you are a lighter screen? I know, I talk to my sample sheets. I do. Kind of feels like they're human anyway. I'm putting in the LG demonstration. This you should do fairly well. You should do extremely well. The screens are very, very light. That's blended in with the Lux. This one's steady. What is it called? It's fighting me the hardest. All right, we gotta do some color in there. Oh, I'll do this one. The screens come up tan. They're not picking up contrast, no color. Look at the bright levels compared to how dark our screen is. It's the same thing with the Black Nova. So we got two DMP Supernovas, $4,000 to $5,000 projection screen. We have the Parallax, I think that's the 0.8, $5,000 projection screen. I think those ones around $4,000. So judging between all these screens, we got anywhere from, whew, that is not going to stay. Coming down. So we got anywhere from, I say, cheapest screen on here is around $800, all the way up to around $5,000. Nope, that would be the cheapest screen right there. That's probably about 130, 140 bucks. LG 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Oh, this is the easy contrast demonstration. The harder ones are the ones with the heavier contrast levels. We're not using that right now. We're still going for light. Now see how our screen can maintain its white levels, but look how dark it is. New York City night screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
There you go. See, in that demonstration, we're showing the real bright colors. The black gold is dark. It's actually one of the darkest gold screens we ever did. And that screen can pull contrast and color and white levels high enough to be able to blend in to these screens with no problem. But they can't pull a contrast level. Now the OLED demonstration, as I explained to you, even when that screen was popping up, it was coming up tan. But that's one of the screens you'll use to base off a contrast demonstration. No, this is what you base off a contrast demonstration. Majority of this demonstration is black. That's why I like to do the one with the horse, because when the horse pops up, you're seeing nothing but straight black. That's how you're supposed to see it. Outer space screensavers.
Getting that from YouTube.
It should be picking up the white levels and the contrast at the same time. Last I checked, outer space wasn't gray, it's actually black. Sony 4K demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
I like to use this one because it shows concentrated reds, blues, and green colors. Background supposed to display in black. And This is how your colors are coming up. As I told you, for a narrow viewing cone, that's the narrow viewing cone. That's usually when you're using a reflective surface, will trigger that off. Dark Star 9 produces the best contrast. That's why I like the Dark Star 9s. That's why I said there's no way in the world you ever beat that screen. There you go. Now you see what you get. Let that play. Ultra short though demonstration will be the last one. The screen decides that it wants to stay up there. And that's some pretty heavy tape. So I think they got a mind of their own. And that's why they used the OLED demonstration with all the pretty colors in it, and they turned the lights out because it's hard for you to tell what's what. That's why I do the color patterns first to show you exactly. So there's no camouflage. You're seeing exactly what you're getting. That's how you perceive red. Look at the white screen. It doesn't pick up nothing. But I just came over together like, nope. I'm out. We're done. No more of these tests today. We're done. No more of these tests. I'm done. And we'll go right back to our colors again. Blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
4. Can't see color. Okay. Well, done on that. That's finished. These down. My sample sheets down. Now we want to pull off and take forever to come up with the screen. Okay. Before couldn't get you off your jack. Sorry. At the end of ripping them off, takes forever to get them off the screen. All right. Switching out the ultra short throw. Okay. There's the ultra short throw. Right there. That's on my 720p ultra short throw projector. Price tag for that projector was $180. I'm gonna feed you guys in a few minutes. Ooh, it's cold outside. All right, more controls. The right one here. We'll do it the right one, okay. I'll play around with this for a minute. Get my sounds up, I'm not sure. It sounds up. And as always, fully lit environment, as it should be. That is my NEC. Gotta get the projector in there. That's my NEC ultra short throw projector, 720p. The thing about that Lux screen, can't use them with ultra short throw projectors. They don't work well. That's what I've been told. You can't use them with ultra short throws. White screen. So what are you doing? Okay, there we go. What are you doing? This is the only screen we have in our collection that has to be used with an ultra short throw projector. This is made by Elite Screens. This is called the Ceiling Light Projection 2. I'm still trying to get my hands on the 3. Right now we have the 2. These are the only ones that can be used with ultra short throws. All the other projectors, all the other ones we have cannot be used with that. All right. So that will allow me to be able to see what I need to see when it comes to color. If it's producing too high of a white level. Okay, there we go. The white level produces too high, it means the color will fade also. I don't know why that concept still sticks in there with projection screens. They feel for some reason that to make the image brighter, this is basically going to be able to give the screen a better image in a fully lit environment. But all it does is just wash out their screen when they do that. The white levels don't have to be that high. You can still maintain beautiful, bright levels without the need of oversaturating with too high of a white level. Then they get in the demonstration where the guy explained his windows are open. See? No matter what I pick, you still achieve that same faded image. Nothing changes. Star field demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
I don't know what the heck that is. Star field demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Here we go. If your colors, your white levels, that's why I do the white levels first. When I see the white levels, if that screen's white, white levels are supposed to be a certain tone on a screen. A lot of people don't, some people don't understand. I say a lot of people, but some people don't understand that. When you display your white levels, there's supposed to be a certain tone to it. It's not supposed to be super high bright. Because what happens is when you do that, you kill your contrast levels. Kill your contrast levels, you kill your colors. That's why I show the white levels first. There's supposed to be a certain level tone of white levels. People expect them to be super, super bright. No, you don't want super, super bright white levels, because what happens is it washes out your screen, as I'm displaying right here. This is why I show you those colors first, to show you exactly what your projector is seeing. So imagine if you had this screen right here on this projector right there and 106 inches. LG beta fish.
Getting that from YouTube.
And this is supposed to be ceiling light rejection technology, which means it's supposed to be to reject any light coming from the ceiling. Outer space screensavers.
Getting that from YouTube.
I'm done. I've seen more than I need to see. Well, looks like the well, we get a good day, hopefully. It looks half and half outside. I don't want to bring my equipment outside to get it rained on. But it'll pass this outside demonstration with no problem whatsoever. Oh well. I'll never understand why they use that reflective material that looks like a track suit. Why? I guess because it's supposed to bring up a much brighter image. That is never good. First thing you're doing is you're washing out your colors. Whitewashing your colors, destroying your contrast levels. Doing a fantastic job of it all. Now see, if you notice that when somebody does a fake demonstration of my product, I'm gonna come in and show you how my product reacts with their own product in the demonstration. If I do a demonstration with their product and we do all the different colors, do the white levels, we do contrast, they do not repeat that same demonstration I just did, because if they do, the screen's gonna react the same way as it did right here. What they're going to do is they're going to smoke screen it. They're going to pick out certain things and say, look, it doesn't do that. No, do the exact same demonstration I just did in the video and prove them wrong if it doesn't do that. And it does. These poorly untested screen paint mixes and some of these light gray certified screens just don't do it the right way. And we're done. All tests are complete. All tests are passed. Let's finish one test, and that is outside, and it's completed. That's its final test. So then, without that test, you can't display it on the website. That's how they earn their labels. But everybody else that's making screen paint or projection screens don't do that. They don't say, oh, our last test for the technology has got to be able to pass outside on a 1,000 lumen projector. They're not doing that. Oh, heck no. They're having a hard enough time struggling inside. Going down the road like that with that. No. Pull my projector back.
Attention, do you have Medicare? Did you know that you may qualify to get up to $144?
White levels aren't supposed to be insanely crazy high, because then you throw off your balance. You have to know it can't be too dark and it can't be too light. If the white levels are producing too high, your contrast and color suffers. Now see on the wolf's body, or there's a wolf, there's several shades of white. It's got a kind of a more of a darker white, or colonial white. Then look at the white snow. There's different shades of white levels going on there. And that's the problem. They can't pick up the white levels. They can't pick up the contrast, and they can't pick up the color. White levels are way too high. Problem is, and the hard part, how it gets real difficult, is you have to figure out exactly how high the white level has to be. White level can't be overpowering, because if it's overpowering, it takes away from the contrast. Contrast takes away from the color. Contrast can't be too high, because it takes away from the white level. So you have to figure out where the balance lays at. And then once you get that accomplished, then you have to figure out if all three of them, how they're going to be affected by ambient light. Because ambient light can fade an image extremely quick. So then you have to work around that. And then you have to work around how is the projector going to perceive the screen? How is it going to see color? So that becomes another topic. That's why we do the projector swap outs. To show you that we don't have to use one particular projector for all our demonstrations, because that particular projector looks good on the screen only. We can swap out between projectors. Then once you get that down to a science, then you got to figure out how is it going to react against other high performance screens. Certified screens, which are the hardest. Why test your product against your own product? You should be testing it against something that is completely different from your product, which would be a certified screen. Actually, because of this commercial, this little intro right here, I went on Amazon and bought $50 worth of gumdrops. Yeah, I got a feeling that's going to be a bad idea. I'm just going to bag them up and give them to the little ones. You don't want to know how much $50 worth of gumdrops is, but it's a lot. I bought just about everything. I bought spice drops. I bought the licorice drops. You ever had those before? Those are pretty good. Now see how the color balance is? So I like showing the fruit. Has to be a balance. And this is why the shortcut for some of these screen paints out here and projection screens are to basically, you have the ambient light controlled environment. You have the over high powered projector, that's calibrated. And then they put the screen up there, and the screen doesn't really have to do much work. Now, the last projector we had set up a few minutes ago was the Christie projector, right? 1080p? This is not the Christie projector. We're actually in the middle of the demonstration, I switched back to the 720p. So we're on 720p, not 1080p anymore. My Christie over there, that's my 720p projector. Did the swap out right in the middle where I was actually busting down getting my stuff ready to put away. I swapped the projectors. Because the last demonstration, we went from 1,000 lumens to 3,800 lumens to the 4,300 lumen Christie. When we did the demonstration on all the screens, we were on the 4,300 lumen Christie. Then we swapped out, I'm sorry, gotta go back to the ultra short throw. We're on the ultra short throw. Then from the ultra short throw, I went back to the 720p. I would rather do the whole demonstration. Well, actually, I am going to be doing the whole demonstration in 720p, the SVGA projector. I think what better projector to do the demonstration on is a low grade projector that we're using right now. Look at that beautiful image. image was so I loved that image so much I bought candy. Bought candy off of watching that demonstration. I said, man, I gotta urge some freaking candy. So we're at 14 feet. Usually around, with projectors, screens, usually, I told you around 14 feet. Gotta be back. Around 14 feet. Now some of them are different. Some to get 100-inch, it'll be 12. Some may be around 12, 11 to 12 feet. And some may require 14, depending on the projector.
Hershey's milk chocolate with whole almonds. It's mostly a smooth ride with a few.
We're doing our celebration victory dance. Passed all his tests. We got one more to go. And that's outside. And that's it. Matter of fact, it'll pass. I'm going to start working on the label today. We did a victory dance. 14 feet. 800 by 600 720p SVGA projector. Not even doing 4K, not even doing 1080p, not even doing 720p at WXGA or XGA, SVGA. Go ahead, Black Gold Nova 17. Show them who does all the work. The screen does all the work, not the projector. And as always, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It always blesses us with the ability to be able to develop such amazing technology. Because he gets all the credit. Where's my squirrels? All right, put my projectors up. Oh, put it back in the kitchen. Hope you enjoyed the video demonstration or test demonstrations. Thank you for your time. I have to go, and God bless.